Cosmo and Me, a seeker's journey from religion to spirituality. I'm one of the world's oldest baby boomers. Being born on April Fool's Day in 1946, the first year of the boom, gives me a certain seniority. I am now, for better or for worse, an elder. Not that anyone cares, and not that it really matters either. What's important is not how long you've lived, but what you've learned along the way. That's what makes an elder. Sad to say, for lo, these many years I've been doing what we all do, just getting along from day to day and not paying a whole lot of attention until lately. I once wrote about the art of taking a long-distance bicycle journey, in which I advised readers to first gather the flowers. Make sure you get a full array of colors. You can arrange them in a beautiful display later, after you have time to see how they fit together and highlight each other. That's what journeys are for, to gather the flowers of experience. In keeping with that advice, I have come to believe that one of the purposes of eldership is to arrange the flowers you've picked on your life's journey. Those of us who have lived through the last 7 decades or so have had an opportunity to gather a variety of colors. What makes my particular journey unique is that it has been specifically spent in a search for meaning, a quest, if you will, for the Holy Grail. Now, an outlandish statement like that requires an explanation. In mythology, the Grail was an actual physical object. It was tangible, not a collection of ideas. When Galahad and Percival set off on their quests, they weren't searching for a faith statement or a better way to explain God. They weren't even looking for something to believe in. They already believed. No, they were looking for something they could hold, something they could see and feel. It was hidden from the sight of most folks. Only those who took the time to look, who really translated their faith into action, and were willing to sweat and even suffer a little, were going to be able to achieve such a quest. Of course, it helped to have a pure heart, no easy feat. In the America in which I began my quest, religion was mostly about saying publicly that you accepted a set of doctrines. As long as you stayed pretty close to orthodoxy, or at least didn't admit that you were a closet maverick, you were home free. You could join a church or synagogue. There were plenty to choose from. You could feast at the potluck suppers, pay your dues, and attend enough gatherings to keep the membership happy. It helped if you insulated yourself from embarrassing personal expressions. This was accomplished by referring to God as the man upstairs or some such thing. You didn't pray, you hit your knees or asked for a moment of silence. That kept you from making religion too personal. If you played the game correctly, you were pretty well covered. I wanted more than that. For me, spirituality, a word I prefer over religion, has always been about something real and tangible. I wanted to experience God. Now, notice the word experience. I'm not interested in knowing about. studying or reading up on. Now, to me, if God is real, then spiritual peekaboo just won't cut it. I see no sense in a God who created humans and then left them to fend for themselves without any visible or even invisible means of support. So religion has never been really satisfying for me. God was only exciting when I was learning something new. And I never found one way of practicing religion that explained and neatly codified all that could be known about God. Like the biblical Jacob of old, I wrestled with God my whole life, saying, I will not let you go until you bless me. I wasn't seeking some hope based on prayer and coincidence, or a reasoned explanation about why we must live by faith and not by sight. No, I wanted to experience the holy. What this means is that all my life I wanted to experience a passion strong enough to inspire me to search for something tangible, the Holy Grail, if you will. So when I retired, I went looking for the meaning of life. And at last I can say that my lifelong quest seems to have finally borne fruit in the woods of South Carolina. Having spent my years preaching and teaching about the holy, I have finally experienced the holy. And I found it right where it's always been, in our connection to nature and the very energy of the earth. I'm still a Christian, but as a professor of world religions, I learned that truth is a multifaceted gem. The discovery of that truth and the energy behind it is the story of Cosmo and me, a seeker's journey from religion to spirituality.